Now, this story right here has got me a little fired up. I'm trying restrain myself as much as possible, but this one has hit the headlines all across the country. Countries. Hell, I'm in the Philippines and still see it. This story was not okay. I remember when this story happened, and I'm sure all y'all remember this story. The Duke Lacrosse players who was accused of the rape of one of the sisters. Oh, I have to do this story. We're not going to do no other intro, so I'm going to go ahead and thank my members, the people that send me their super chat, that super thanks. You hit that like button, you continue to subscribe to the channel, you share the videos. I truly do appreciate you. We're just going to go ahead and jump into this one today, okay? Now, does she deserve a Bumquisha badge? Do I really got to answer that damn question for y'all today? This one really got up under my skin. What she do to them men's lives? Young boys back then, she's a young girl. What she do to their life? What could have happened and turned out for their life had she not had made these false accusations over 20 years ago? They can never get that back. Never. She can never get it back. Anybody thinking about her? Them young men can never get that back. And that's a damn shame. And I want to talk about it. So we're going to go ahead and play the CNN report, and we're going to go ahead and get into this. Come on, let's go.
A first ever stunning admission from a woman who accused Duke University lacrosse players of raping her nearly 20 years ago. The story was a national firestorm. She now says she lied about the encounter. Crystal Mangum first made the claims back in 2006, saying 3 members of the school's lacrosse team raped her after she had been hired to dance at a house party the team was throwing. Police charged David Evans, Colin Finnerty, and Reed Seligman after Mangum's accusations. But after much back and forth and the city's DA stepping down from the case, North Carolina's Attorney General later dismissed the charges, citing a lack of evidence. But now, going on the record on a podcast nearly 20 years later, Crystal Mangum says she was lying the whole time.
I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't, and that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. And made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. And that was wrong when God already loved me for who I was, regardless. I didn't need to seek validation from him because I already had validation from him. I just didn't know it. And I hurt my brothers. And I hope that they can forgive me. And I want them to know that I love them. And they didn't deserve that. And I hope they can forgive me. And that I hope that they can heal and trust God and know that God loves them and that God is loving them through me, letting them know that they're valuable and that they did.
There's so much to unpack right here, right now. Did you hear her say because she wanted to be validated, she wanted to be accepted? Accepted in what? Accepted by whom? You wasn't already accepted in your family? You wasn't accepted by your family and your friends? Well, you were trying to be accepted in somewhere that you didn't think that maybe you deserved to be? You had the opportunity to be at a certain place? I don't know. Accepted as what? That you wanted to go and perform a dance somewhere? I don't know. Now, you hope that God can forgive. I believe that too. But what has that done to their lives over 20 years? Where could they have been had it not been for you? So many people get great. Don't want to talk about it. People don't believe them. Some people do believe them. I don't know. But what I do know is you can never change it. Do they have the right not to forgive her for opportunities that they had? And no one wanted to be seen with them young men. No one wanted to hire them young men. They still had college payments, student loans to pay off, but it was hard for them to pay them student loans off because they couldn't get a good job because of her foolishness. Is her apologizing going to change anything for their past? Let's get back into the video.
Didn't deserve that.
Joining me now is CNN's Gene Casares, who reported heavily on this case. Gene, give us a sense of how impactful and controversial these accusations and the result were at that time. I remember, you remember this story all too well. I mean, this was literally a firestorm of a story back in 2006. The entire country was watching it, and to hear this admission all these years later, it's just extraordinary.
And 3 young lives were destroyed at that time. You know, it was 2006. It was Durham, North Carolina. I was there. I was covering this. And Crystal Magnum made the accusation that she was raped by David Evans, Cullen Finnerty, and Reed Segelman. And there were charges, very serious sexual assault charges that had terms of imprisonment for the rest of their lives. And in Durham, that's where it started, and everyone took Crystal Magnum's side because she came out with details, very specific, graphic details. And the young men said, we didn't do this. But Duke University did not stand by them either. They were just really silent, but everyone was focused that she was telling the truth. They weren't. Then it went to a national level, and their names became household names, and they were taken into court on these very serious charges, and they were in college. They were at Duke University. Furthermore, the lacrosse team, their entire season was canceled. The coach was fired. So there were ramifications from it. Now, 1 year later, the Attorney General exonerated them of innocence. But there's so much more to the story. I was in the courtroom.
Let's get into the further more of that story. You hear that? Even the dang coach was fired. These young men at the time, their families disgraced. All because of bum Quisha. No cameras, no nothing. Yes, she had details. She had details because she was there at the house. This is such a sad, sad story. And I'm not saying that a lot of them don't, it's not true. But how can you believe a lot of things that's going on? Because they want to get paid. She wanted to have fame. She wanted to be accepted. After all that, was you accepted? What made her change her mind? Was she not accepted anymore? Their life will never be the same because of her lies. She destroyed practically a university at that time. I remember it. It caused a lot of racial tension in the country. Believe women only. White men were no good, especially young white men. Considering on this case, and I think it is disgusting. Should they forgive her? I think that's the question of the day. Should they really forgive her? It wasn't just a shame on her. I mean, on them. It was a shame throughout everybody that was involved. Even the college, if you want to know the truth, didn't nobody want their kids going to that college. They didn't even want their name branded next to them because they wanted them to grow up to be good, productive people. You went to Lacrosse. Oh, ain't that where that happened at? Quishas. We just getting videos on them today. But they come from way, way, way back. She's most definitely got a badge today. And it's such a shame because she wasn't okay with herself. We do a lot of videos on here how the girlfriend beat up the boyfriend and oh, it was his fault. It was his fault. It was his fault. Like I used to do DV long time ago. You couldn't pay me to do it no more because I can't trust them. Hell, I think sometimes was I duped? I probably was duped on a couple of things myself. This story is disgusting and it's turning my stomach, but we're going to go ahead and finish it. Let's go.
And Mike Nifong, the district attorney of Durham, was charged with criminal contempt and then also for disbarment of his bar license. And it came out what the truth was. One of the defense teams had a young attorney, just got out of law school, and he would stay up at night reading the thousands of pages of DNA evidence. And he found something in one of those thousands of pages that confirmed that their DNA was not a part of DNA that they had collected from her. And that DNA evidence is actually one of the major factors that they were exonerated, and that came out during Mike Nifong's trial. He was convicted, by the way, the district attorney, who had stood by her and had done many interviews about how she was raped so viciously. And then they reclaimed their lives. But right there, I believe that's David Evans right there, he said that he, at the time, because he was in the courtroom during Mike Nifong's trial, he wanted to become an attorney because he wanted to help others who were wrongfully accused. And I don't know if that happened, but that is what he wanted at that time. But they'll always be the three Duke lacrosse players, right?
Yeah.
If you say the name
right.
Colin Finnerty, especially if you live in Duke, in Durham, you're going to know who that is.
And Jean, that school's lacrosse program was just smeared. I mean, and I'm sure suffered, and the school just suffered major reputational damage after that. Is there anything that could come as in part of the fallout of this? I mean, could there be some sort of lawsuit? I mean, I suppose there might not be much to sue for here. It doesn't sound like Crystal has a whole lot of assets on her.
Well, she's in prison.
Yeah,
she's in prison right now for murder. And so that's true. There were several lawsuits at the time, one against Duke.
Wait a minute, who's in prison for what? Smarter. They in prison for smart. Okay, we going. See, now I'm a little lost on that. Comment section, let me know who's in prison for smarter. This is a shame. This is a shame. All because she wanted to be accepted. Accepted into what? Accepted into somewhere that you couldn't be? Huh? Accepted there? Who even gave her this idea to even do something like this? Because I really don't think she thought of it on her own. I just don't. So much more to this story, I believe, that she's not telling. Accepted into what? I got my thoughts, but I like to stick around here for a little while. So certain things I can't say on here, but I kind of got an idea of what she wanted to be accepted into. She wanted to be accepted into something that she could never be accepted into. You a black woman, they was white boys. You could never, ever, ever be accepted on the same level as they will be. Ever. And there's really nothing wrong with that. We are who we are. And you destroyed all of these lives. Who is this Susan they talking about? Let's go, comments. Crew, this is a mess. Let's continue.
Another against Durham, the city of Durham. But now that she has come out on the record saying it, let's see legally what is available, because it has been almost 20 years, and I'm sure her resources are very, very sparse at this point. But we have tried to contact the three now men involved in this, their attorneys, and a local paper said that there are not comments at this point of their reaction to all of this.
Wow. Gene, all right, Gene, stand by. Really appreciate you being on with us this morning. I do want to go to Caterina Di Pasquale. She is the podcaster who interviewed Crystal Mangum when this admission was offered up. Caterina, I understand you're on the phone with us. Tell us a little bit about this interview. And yeah, how did this come about?
Well, so I'm a New Yorker who lives in Durham, North Carolina. I started my show, Let's Talk with Cat.com, and I was looking for an interesting interview. In my circle, people have talked about Crystal, and there was so much mystery around it for me because it seemed like some people viewed her as a pariah and some people still viewed her as a victim. And so I just thought, I want to find out for myself who this person is, and I wanted to see the reasonings behind decision making, and just that's where I was heading.
Yeah, but Kat, I mean, tell me about this admission. I mean, she just blurted it out. Did you have to press her? How did that go down?
So my intentions had nothing to do with getting any confessions out of Crystal. I contacted her via our online platform, and I asked her if I could interview her. And the protocol of this prison was that she needs to mail me a letter and confirm if she's down for the interview. She did. She mailed me a letter, and in the letter, she said that she would like to give me an interview, but also she would like to apologize to Duke Lacrosse players.
And so she just says...
It was surprising.
Yeah. And she just says she made it up. It was a false accusation. Does she say why?
But I want the yes. Well, so yes, if you watch the full interview, there are like about 5 questions before she confesses, because I thought about it, and my platform is about finding out reasoning behind decision making, and so I attempted to look to see who Crystal was on the human level, and understand why she made the decision that she made. So
it's really extraordinary. Well, Caterina, thank you so much for sharing this with us. It is quite the scoop. Caterina Di Pasquale and Gene Casares, thank you for your time as well. We really appreciate it. Just an extraordinary story.
You know what? I didn't realize that she was incarcerated for murder of another man. I'm going to make sure I link that that story. It's on Snap Oxygen in the description box, so you can go ahead and watch it for yourself. This is a mess. I'm most definitely going to link that description, the video to this inside of the description box. So make sure y'all go ahead and watch it, because I'm just finding out this myself, and I'm going to go ahead and watch it. So she's wanting everybody to believe her. They didn't believe her on that one. It's a dang shame. I don't know what's wrong with them. With them young men, they grown men now, ever have any, what they gonna sue her for? She in prison. Money can't take back what they had. It defamed them. It defamed their families, the coaches, the school. It's so many people that were involved, the district attorney, everybody. All because she didn't feel accepted. You better be okay with who you are and what you got. And if you not, then that's on you. But do not put nobody else into your web, okay? Because this is what can happen. Thank God for a lot of the body cams that they show today. People will be accused of stuff that they don't even know what the hell you're even talking about. Dang. Be careful, y'all. Men and women, be careful. Happy holidays to you. I, I'm just so disgusted by this story, but I was most definitely going to do it. Couldn't let this go by. Please, people, be on your 369 and your 12. You never know who's around you. Sometimes it's the people that's most closest to you that you got to be aware of. Y'all know I say that. It's what I believe, and I'm sticking to it. I believe it. Oh, gosh. I don't know. It's a mess. But anyway, welcome to all my new subscribers. My name is Johnnie. Please continue to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll meet you guys most definitely in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the link in the description box and watch what's going on with this one here. Okay? She most definitely got a badge. Hell, she probably got the trophy. All right? Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.